pitch one. It's the old rivalry. It is England, and they will take on the successful Australian team from this morning. England will bowl first, and they'll turn to the speedster Adil Hussain. He'll come in from the Ron Fleet end. A little change to the Australian team this morning. Matt Angus drops out and Brodie Dwyer comes back in. He will take strike, and it be Hussain around the wicket with the new ball. That could be a wide.
Full stop, Darren.
Slip straight away there from Lomas. We haven't seen that many slips so far, even with how wet it's been. So just got his feet in a bit of a bad spot here. He'll be looking to improve massively from his last game behind the stumps. He's been amazing with the bat, but he struggled in that last game against Pakistan. But that's much better straight away, and that's another wide. So a sloppy start there from Adil Hussain. They've given them 4 runs. They've not even had to touch the ball so far. And that's Brodie Dwyer out to long off a single. They brought Brodie Dwyer in, speaking to Sam Lang, just to steady the top of the batting. In the last game, Australia went extremely hard and left themselves extremely exposed at the end of an innings, so Dwyer's come in to steady the ship, and it's him and Nathan Tyrrell, the 2 left-handers. I'm going to invite Wayne Grieve, LMS founder, into the box. All right, Grievo.
How you going, Lee?
Not too bad. It's been a great morning of cricket here. My boys Singapore into the semi-final.
Yes, they have caused some big upsets in this tournament. We watch Tyrrell push into the covers for 2. Nielsen Scott comes around. A dive, and he won't want to be looking at the replay later.
Been collecting my bloopers reel for the week, and I know David Nielsen Scott is a fabulous fielder. He took a brilliant catch on here the other day, but this is a bit of a shock. Just slid past the ball.
Nice.
Thoroughly enjoyable that, Wayne. How would you feel if that was off your bowling?
I'd try and take a few breaths before I said anything.
But this is a brilliant start from Australia. I've just got a feeling, Wayne, that Australia could cause a little bit of an upset of this unbeaten England side here.
Yeah, Lee, I think this is going to be close. Adil Hussain's been the key bowler for England in this tournament, but we'll have to see who's going to be opening the bowling with him in this game.
Oh, well done, Hans.
Well, I know Haroon Khan has came out the side here as we just give an example here of how the third umpire is going to work. So in these semi-finals, we're going to use the TV facility for stumpings and run-outs, and we've got the third umpire here, and we're just going to show what would happen.
So if Ross Coward, the third umpire, thinks it's out, Ross, what would you do if you thought it was out? There we go. So that's the out. And if it's not out, Ross? Okay. So that's how it's going to work. There's no review. But if the umpire's not sure, you can go to our third umpire here.
Very stiff there, Ross. I think we may need to loosen him up as the games go on there.
He looks very nervous. He's never done the third umpire role before. He's more known for his filling in for Nick Compton in the commentary box.
And the beauty of Ross is no one can say he's not impartial because he's been supporting about 6 teams this week.
Definitely. He just loves cricket.
So this is a really good start for the Australians here. They'll be much happier with this. This is Tyrrell, and it's David Nielsen Scott being able to make amends here. Straight away ball flies through.
Nielsen Scott, better start from him, yeah. He looks like he's got his rhythm, yeah. He's a big rhythm bowler.
I know he can certainly put it through as well, you know. Win behind here. charging down the hill here at Chester.
Fine. Third man is very fine, yeah.
It's a wide, isn't it?
Ooh, the umpire thought about it.
I think that's a wide. I think that's a good decision.
But just to reiterate, Roscoe is actually the fourth official. The third official will be Simon Melbourne. He's the tournament director, so he'll be making some tough calls later.
It's wide, and that goes out to point.
So two left-handers at the crease here.
Like I was about to say, Haroon Khan misses out this time. Into the wicket, that's a wide as well. England are giving numerous extras here at the start. This is not the start that the skipper wanted here.
There's some shouting on the back pitch. What's happened?
It looks like there's a wicket, and Sri Lanka have lost the wicket there, and it's Singapore again causing all sorts of troubles over on that back pitch. We're just going to wait to see what's going on.
Come on, boys.
Yeah, Singapore won the toss.
Next one, come on.
Sri Lanka batting. The new incoming batsman on the back pitch, Ajanta Mendes. He's going to need all his experience here.
Go, Ash. Come on, boy. Back to you here. Hey, come on.
So that's a massive wicket. That's Solomon's gone.
Oh, he's bowled him!
Hey! There it is.
England really, really needed that wicket. In desperate need of that wicket there.
He's beaten him for pace there.
It's actually hit the leg stump as well. He's just tried to create a bit of room into the offside there, and Hussain's just ran one through him. I think if I was the skipper here, I'd really get the group in. They just don't seem to have that intensity about them this morning.
Yeah.
And the Australians are obviously full of confidence. They've just managed to turn a send defeat into victory against the Indians, and then all of a sudden they're straight back here with that momentum. England need to get out of bed here and jump on the back of that wicket from Adil Hussain.
The guys, we've been lucky with the weather here. It looks like we're going to stay dry for a while. So for those of you in the area, the final will be played at around 2 o'clock. So start making your way to the ground. Free entry.
Football, Daddy. Send him home, mate. Send him home, buddy.
That was a big wicket for England there. The strike bowler Adil Hussain. He went all the way back to Kent to play in his Premier League yesterday and then to come back. Great commitment from him. Into the wicket here. Looks like Srinivasa's the new batter there. So looking from that first game, obviously that was just an 18 over game. Back to 20 here. I think par score will be around that 170 mark again. Into the pads. Dot ball. So it's amazing. We saw what happened in that last game. In last man stands, 2 good overs can really put a stop to a good score for the team and the momentum as well. Bill last year, tell me about the Pakistan match. Well, you won't want to know what I'm about to say, but your boys were defeated by Singapore this morning. Singapore scoring in the region of 150 off their 18 overs, and it was left to the last man standing, Mohamed Bhatti, and that's over to try and score 28. He didn't do it, and Pakistan crash out.
So Adil Hussain, the standout bowler for England, one of the standout bowlers of the tournament.
I actually think this is a really clever tactic from Australia. I spoke to Sam Lang before the start of the match here. They've gone with Brodie Dwyer at the top of the order. He's a very good player, a quick bowler, and he looks like he's got a lot of time there. He's just rocked in behind that. I think they're not going to be overly worried. If they can get Hussein's 4 overs out the way for around 30, 25-30, give him no more wickets, I think that'll be a really, really good sign for the Australians as Nielsen Scott comes in. Swing and a miss from...
I didn't actually see that at all.
So the Australian team for this match, we've got Hayden Page, Sam Lang, Nathan Terrell, Marty Henderson, Pooh Shinarasan, Ziad Abbas, Jake O'Connell and Brodie Dwyer.
Just Srinivasan here, down the leg side, another wide. So that's the 5th wide so far. We've only been going 3 overs. It's just something you can't do in last man stands. You can't be giving runs away for free.
The England team, Nick Darby-Welsh, Blake van der Linde, Simon Dunning.
2 guys on screen here. They've been key to the operation at Chester this week there. That was John LeGray, the fixture secretary of the club here, who marshals all the pitches here and the games that are going on. So obviously freed up the week to allow us to have this tournament. So a great job from him. And there was the groundsman, Alex Kegg, who came from a Caribbean night that was at the club last night, so he's still wearing the same clothes. What commitment to the cause.
I don't actually think he slept. I think he went straight from the Caribbean night straight onto the roller and started rolling the wicket at 3 in the morning.
Well, he must have thought that he'd gone into a tropical storm then, Wayne, because it really was wet out here after he left the Caribbean night. As a few of the boys here in the comms box see a few of the speckies just having a little look at some of these co-branded Bass bats in front of us here that you can check out on
superb fielding from Compton out the boundary.
You can check them out on www.lastmanstands.com/bass if you're interested in any of that co-branded kit. We've seen a few of the top marquee players, Marcus North, Abdul Razak, using that kit this week. It's another wide. I think that was quite tough there from...
It was a good over prior to that one.
Great awareness from Compton there to see where the boundary was and just flick it back.
The field to the left-hander was very fine. They've got a 3rd man, backward point on the boundary. And
yeah, orange would have been better.
We had Nick Compton at mid-off, so there's a huge gap between mid-off and backward point, and Compton did well to cover that area.
God, the heart rates must just be starting to drop here from the Australian side. It really, really did look like it was going to be India's day in that quarter-final, but they played some amazing cricket in that last 5 overs. And the star man at the end of the innings was that big man, Ziad Abbas, who managed to close out the innings. He stood there, arms aloft, the distinct top-knot ponytail, celebrating the victory, and that brings him into this game against England, the semi-final. And Adil Hussain goes into his 3rd over, charging in from the Ron Fleet end round the wicket. Across the stumps there, Brodie Dwyer just trying to work it into the leg side, but no run.
So the rest of the team for England, Jamie Carter, Adil Hussain, Aaron Lomas, Dave Nielsen Scott and Nick Compton. Left out for this game, Haroon Khan.
Nice, Addy. Back in you, Ad. Back in you.
Just on that back pitch for anyone interested. Sri Lanka are 29 for 1 off 4 overs, so that's a good start from Singapore. Vineet with the wicket there, but him and Mambir have been a great opening partnership for the Singapore side, so that's in the balance, that game there. And we come back to this one, almost an identical score, just a couple balls more, but it's 29 for 1 here.
How many has Ajanta Mendes got on the back pitch, Dilly?
Just gonna have a little nose. Mendes is 5 off 7, so he's just easing into it. But the big wicket of Solomon's there. Don't know if anyone saw it on the Twitter page earlier in the week. Solomon's took a wicket and a double play in one ball. Enjoyed watching that. I was actually away at work at the time and I was just keeping an eye on what was going on, and there it was on Twitter.
A superb bit of fielding, one stump to aim at. As we watch Hussain continue.
That's a
Cut
great
away.
Chance of a catch. Carter in the deep. What an amazing catch that is. He's came in, that went awfully quick down to third man, and Jamie Carter's just come in. It's plugged. And that's a great catch. The dealer Saints happy with that, and so are the rest of the England side.
That's not an easy catch. That flew off the bat quickly there, Lee.
Seen them drop many a time there. He did well just to adjust himself quickly there. Had his hands down, not the Australian way. He had his fingers pointing downwards. And it just shows how quick Hussain is. This is flew. He come running in. God, that's flew to him down there, hasn't it? That's a really good catch. And he had a little look at the double play, but that wasn't really on.
It's almost a fly slip position there.
Yeah, it's a good catch. It's a good catch. So obviously England have had a really good start to this World Series. Just a little blip in the last game.
Yeah, they started the tournament well with a 95-run win off over Scotland. And they beat UAE by 37 runs. Then they beat New Zealand by 5 runs in a tight game. Then they hammered India by 76 runs. And then in the final group game, very, very close game against Pakistan, they lost off the last ball. But they still finished top of the group.
So this is Marty Henderson now. He got done by a ball that just nipped away in the last game. Again, LMS Australia are just leaving themselves with mountains to climb again. Losing more early wickets. They'd started really well there.
Marty Henderson averaging 68 in LMS cricket.
That's got to be close! He's gone! He's been given! That looked absolutely stone dead from here. Henderson got caught on the crease. He barely got forward. And that smashed into the pads underneath the knee roll. It certainly wasn't going over. Was it going down leg? We're going to watch that back, but Hussain is the man here doing all the damage, Wayne.
I don't think Henderson expected that. Beaten for pace there.
That is, oh wow, that is absolutely stone dead. That's red the whole way there. That's pitched in line, hit him in line. And the middle stump would have gone cartwheeling back. But the pad of Marty Henderson was in the way, but he's gone.
I think the only thing the umpire needed to think about there was what part of middle stump that was hitting.
Oh, yeah. That looked pretty good to me. And no complaints from Henderson. He strides off. And I think this is going to bring in Sam Lang here.
So I'm going to be leaving the commentary box. We've got the third official, or the fourth official, Ross Coward. He's going to come and explain the whole process of the review system. Well, not the review system, the run out and stumping referral. Ross, we saw you out there earlier with your cricket finger. Are you nervous for your approach to this?
No, not too nervous, Wayne. Probably more excited. So the process is, if the umpire is not 100% sure on a decision to give on a run out or a stumping, he will review it to the third official. He will come and have a look at a replay, and then his decision will be made on that, and then he will send a message to the umpire of what, if it's in or out.
Getting a bit of a stick online here, Roscoe, for being a POM. How dare I commentate in my own country, at my own club. A few of the Australians wanted us to fly an Australian commentator out just to commentate on their game this morning. So if there's any Australians in the local area, if you want to come down and commentate on your side.
Yeah. Might have to get Simon in the hot seat at some stage during the game. So Simon Dunning, the English all-rounder.
Into the wicket there, Lang just pushed it into the leg side. Conditions probably will suit England here. This is very English conditions, this, slightly wet underfoot.
Definitely, the atmospheric conditions are definitely helping the bowlers a bit. That's why it was a bit of a strange call from Sam Lang, the Australian captain, to bat first. But
Sri Lanka on the back pitch are just starting to put the foot down here. Agitha Mendes is now 17 off 12, so he's really started to motor there. 10 off his last 4 balls. Dearwan, Raja Karuna. Getting good at that, aren't I? Raja Karuna. Getting good. Well, that looks very impressive there. Good start from Dunning there at the end of the over, and the Australians are 33 for 3. So we did this in the last match. Let's see how many of the opposition fans are online here. If you're supporting Australia, let's have a thumbs up on Facebook, and if you're supporting England, press the love heart.
so Nicholas Dalby-Welsh, the England captain, the weight of the nation on his shoulders, is coming into the attack. Bowls his medium paces with some serious pace now and then. Varies his length. He's had a great time this week, marshalling the lads.
The one thing I like about his whole demeanour, his whole ethos is it's all about building the team and people enjoying themselves. It's never about what he needs to do first.
Well, I'll start with my first cliche of the day. There's no I in team, Lee.
It's always good to get a cliche out of you, Ross, and if you want one of Ross's cliche t-shirts, I'm sure they'll come on the Last Man Stand shop shortly. It'd be quite an extensive range though.
I don't think they could make them quick enough.
See all these coloured kits here. Obviously, if you are interested in playing Last Man Stands and you're thinking of putting a new team together, obviously check us out online on lastmanstands.com. But also, if you want to put a team in, you can /join, or if you're thinking you're even bigger than that and you want to start your own league in your own local area where there isn't one, then you can /franchise.
So good start this by Nicholas Dalby-Welsh. Oh, dot ball. Well bowled, good length that.
So at the start of the day, we would have expected to be seeing Pakistan playing against Sri Lanka on the back pitch. So that was our first shock of the day.
Big upset of field 2.
It was a big upset. And Brodie Dyer works into the leg side here. His job, speaking to Sam Lang, was just to kind of see off a deal the same, really. But he got stuck at the non-striker's end. As we see Cameron Fryer wandering around here, enjoying the blustery conditions of England. Sadly, the South Africans didn't make it to finals day. They went out yesterday.
Yep, they lost to the Aussies.
It's a good shot into the deep there. Potential for 4. And
great dive there by DNS. Jamie Carter running around to support his mate. Whoops it in.
He signalled 4.
Oh. Was that 4?
No, the fielder actually signalled 4.
Okay.
So that's excellent sportsmanship there from David Nielsen Scott, but he hasn't quite mastered the art of the sliding dive so far. We saw quite a funny moment in the early overs. I don't know if you saw it. He basically slid past the ball.
So that's Janta Mendes. Big wicket for Singapore.
Manbir Singh caught by Seth. And that is a big wicket. There was a lot of noise there.
Looks like Manpreet marshalling the troops in the team chats in the huddle there.
My friend Canal from the commentary box, he was absolutely delighted. I saw him after the game. Big high fives.
So Simon Dunning for the second over. Models his game on Ian Botham's.
So he
Starts
obviously
off
got
with
in
a
about
wide.
3 o'clock in the morning then.
Possibly.
The camaraderie between the teams has been superb this week. Obviously very hard fought on the pitch, but it's been a real sea of different coloured kits and whatnot.
He's not happy with the umpire's decision. Looks like it was pitching outside leg. He is not happy. Hands on his head.
I tell you what,
Hope the match.
Dunning's got to be careful here because obviously umpire's decision was final in last man stands.
Hope the match referee didn't see that. Was using the foot.
Be interesting to see if we could maybe get a little rerun of that LBW appeal. I think you may be right there, Ross. I think it did pitch outside, but hard to see from this position as
Ooh.
good bit of bowling there from Dunning.
Australian captain just misjudging the length.
Just getting a bit of practice in, potentially, if Sri Lanka do make it to a final. But Shalika Kalatharana has gone for 6 off his second ball there. So he's seeing it well.
Sam Lang knocks it down to long on.
And he's gone again. Shalika Kalatharana. Oh, God. Come on, Singapore. There's absolutely no hope for me if they make it to the final. Him and Dewan and Raja Karuna batting for Sri Lanka. Back to this game here. Dwyer flicks out. He's 20 off 20. He's done his job here ultimately, Ross. He was told to bat through. Give him a base to work off. It's just the fact they've lost wickets at the other end. And oh my God, that's pitched a foot outside leg and wouldn't have hit leg stump either. I really hope Simon Dunning comes down towards us in the commentary box to fill him in.
Not your best there, Slick. So that's 46 after 8.
Blake van der Linde, obviously a big mate of Simon Dunning, just asking us there if it pitched outside leg. Manpreet bowling on the back pitch here. Got to have a little sniff of player of the tournament. So how do we work out the player of the tournament, Ross? Is it done on the algorithm of the app, or is it on the naked eye of some of the organisers?
I think it'll be a bit of a mixture of both. I'll talk to the powers that be. I'm gonna sit on the fence on that one.
Another 6 on the back pitch, and that's Kalatharana again.
Oh,
It's gone high in the air. Could be a catch.
top edge.
And it's gone for 4. Blake van der Linde needed rockets in his shoes there. He wasn't going to get there, but Australia really needed that. So if they can just maybe get up to 70 at halfway here, then maybe they can have a bit of a dip and try and get up to that 160, 170. I don't think they'll be able to defend 140 against a very strong England side.
I think the magic number today is definitely going to be around the 160, 170 mark. This conditions today are a lot different to previously in the week. It's a bit chilly, overcast, a little damp.
It's a lovely shot again out into the deep there.
Sam Lang's a really good player. Seems to be just setting himself up for later in his innings. Brody doing a fantastic job also rotating the strike. Always key to keep the scoreboard ticking. Dot balls, you can't be having any dots.
It's good, he's got to look for two. No, I thought he was going to look for two there. He's obviously hit that not quite as hard as I thought there.
Nick Compton, with all his experience, chatting to the guys in the field. Been fantastic having him around.
Have you managed to ask him, has he enjoyed his week, Ross?
Oh, he's had a great week. He's really enjoyed the cricket. Got to sort of help the guys with all his knowledge.
That's a great shot down the ground.
Great shot, that.
It's 6 runs. So all of a sudden, momentum is just coming back towards Australia here. We know a good score today is probably 10-15 less than previous days, just because of the slowness of the outfield with this water. And that's just slid onto the bat. And that's a great shot from Lang.
So after 9 overs, the score is 62 for 3. Great shot there by Sam Lang.
So obviously a run of ball 23 for Brodie Dwyer so far, but Sam Lang's come in. The skipper, 21 off 10. 2 4s and a 6. He's gonna do well with this wet ball to swing it back and straighten it here. So as a left-hander myself, I'd probably be looking to line him up here, unless he can just get that ball a little bit further over. It's a nice shot down the ground. He's going to push hard here. It's out to Adil Hussain, and that's 4. That's a classic on drive.
Simon Dunning not getting down. Ball going under his foot.
Like I said a few moments ago here, Ross, if they can just get to 70-75, then it gives them a chance to launch in the second half of the innings here. That's something they didn't get to do against the Indians because he'd lost too many wickets.
So the great shot out to the cover boundary. Nick Compton swooping around. Whips it in. Simon Dunning just trying the ball. Ball getting a bit wet in the outfield. Lots of chat in the outfield with England fielders.
That's the skipper trying to orchestrate that then. This could be 2 though. This could be 2.
Should be definitely 2 there.
And
Good
there
running.
is. And another 6 on the back pitch. Sri Lanka are really motoring now. He's just hit one on pitch 2 there. That's Salika Kalawaratharana with another huge 6. This one went over the clubhouse this time.
It's good over this by Simon Dunning.
31 off 7 balls on the back pitch. No 4s, 5 6s.
So after 3 overs.
It's just unbelievable. And that's going to put Singapore under massive pressure there, having these sort of power hitters from the Sri Lankans.
So Simon Dunning's world ranking is 487. He's got 50 wickets at an average of 26.12, economy of 6.37, his best of 3 for 12.
Just a question, Ross. Do you have a world ranking as a batter and a bowler, or just an overall world ranking?
In each category.
In each category?
Yep.
And there is a keeping category as well, which is a debate earlier in the week.
So who's your standout keeper of the week so far, Lee?
I've liked Meg. He's been pretty good from the Indians. He didn't make it into the first game, but he's came in and Meg's done a good job. Nick, what do you reckon a good score is?
It's got Nick Compton. Going to give us a bit of insight.
I don't think we've bowled well enough quite yet. You know, it's a good wicket for bowling, but we need to restrict them to 120, 130.
Thanks, Nick.
I think they'd be absolutely delighted if they kept them down to 120, 130, but I think realistically, I think anything under 150 England would be really happy with.
So it looks like Blake van der Linde is going to be bowling 11th over. Blake van der Linde getting his fielders in the key positions. Brody Dwyer on strike.
Aislinn Dwyer asking, has Marty batted yet? Afraid so. Got a first bowler. There's a great bit of bowling from Adil Hussain.
It's a fantastic shot there.
That's a really nice
Brody
shot.
Dwyer.
Pressure straight away on van der Linde here.
Just missing his length.
That was a great shot from Dwyer, and he's just starting to move now. 36 off 29. 13 off his last 6 balls.
So Jacob Backhouse is saying 155. Oh.
And that is an unbelievable catch on pitch 2 as Blake van der Linde gives away a wide.
It's not happy.
What a catch. And that is a massive wicket on pitch 2. There's a warm applause as the batter leaves the pitch. And that's the dangerous Shalika. We'll go with that for now. 33 off 10. May get my friend Dill from the Chester Cricket Club, ex-Sri Lankan under-19, to pop in the box if they make it to the final.
Definitely. Fantastic to have him. It's good running by the Australians. Ran the first one hard. Get back for 2.
Haroon Khan arriving here. He missed out today. I think he could be a good shout for the final though, if England make it. As Blake van der Linde comes into bowl. Brody's just put it away down to third man. He's reacted really well here, Brody Dwyer. He was left out in the quarter-final. He felt that the balance was more suited to Matt Angus. But he's came back and he's showing the senior players, the selectors in that squad, exactly what you can do.
I think Steve Emmett, the team manager, has got that spot on.
It's a lovely shot down the ground. Chance for 4 here. He's come around. That's a lovely pickup. So that's a decent over for Australia. They're just coming back into this game here.
Nick Compton into the attack to bowl is off spin. Have a look at the bowling figures.
9 off that first over from van der Linde. Sam Lang 22 off 11. Brody Dwyer 40 off 33. So all of a sudden, if Australia just put the foot down here, they could look at something around that 160 mark. And Nick Compton here is going to be bowling into a relatively stiff breeze here. He's wearing the black Nick Compton testimonial year hat here.
As we look at the projected scores, currently they're looking at 145. 8 and over, it'll be 152. 10 and over, 170.
I reckon they'll be looking at 9s, 160, I think. 160.
So.
I think they'll be massively in the game at 160 here.
I definitely agree, Lee.
Compton around the wicket again.
Oh, that's a fantastic shot. That's 6 runs.
And this has gone well back. Boom! 6 runs from Lang. And all of a sudden, momentum is shifting towards Australia here. Pressure on Compton.
Yes.
Do you want me to go get them?
Comes in again to Lang. Down the ground
that's
again. This is another
shot.
one. And this could be the over. This is a tough ask for Compton. He's being asked to bowl into the wind here from the city end. And Lang's on the march.
Fantastic straight drive that. Cameraman had to take evasive action.
Coming over the wicket now, so obviously felt that making it a bit easy for Lang. This has been an amazing innings, so 34 off 14, real captain's knock. Gets down on one knee now and just paddles it. Great batting there. He took the risk early in the over, got his 12 off 2 and then just paddles it away.
What I like what he's done there is he's backed himself and he's thrown it up again. He hasn't bowled in the flat dart.
Not really sure what that outfit is, but it's like the inside of a vacuum. That's one of the local kids that's come in fancy dress, got into the spirit of finals day here, and he's come as a inside of a vacuum cleaner. Great stuff. Brotherly love there.
So it looks like Compton's not going to be bowling his second over.
He's been took off.
Took himself off, I think.
So Van der Linde's going to come back on. Compton there, obviously not overly charmed having to bowl into the wind to the short boundary there. He was a bit unlucky, Sam Lang only got hold of 2 there. But I'm sure he'll fill me in on that later on in the comms box. Just on that back pitch, Sri Lanka are still going strong here. They've got such a positive way of playing this game. Dewan, 41, not out at the moment, steering it along with Rathanakar. 5 from 5 there, 112 off 12. So they're looking for a score up near 190, but that back pitch, 200 is par.
Thanks for having me, Lee. It's Wayne Grieve back in the hot seat.
Cheers, Roscoe. Right, Grievo, nice to have you back.
It's great to join you, Lee. It's been following that Singapore-Sri Lanka game closely. And Singapore giving another good account of themselves.
Oh, you're hungry, he's tired.
Let's go straight
High
up.
in the air.
There's 3 of them under it. Oh, was that a great effort there. Never easy taking it over your shoulder there. He actually had done the hard work. He actually almost had that, Lee.
So you've got Jamie Carter coming in there. I think he maybe would have been able to get there, but he was called off it like Van der Linde called. 3 players came in on it.
Oh, unlucky.
Who would you want to take responsibility for that catch, Wayne?
I think it's always easy coming into it, but
He did call very early, Blake. It's amazing how the momentum shifts in this game, though.
it's an interesting situation here, Lee. And we probably haven't alluded to it enough, but this is the first time England will be chasing in the tournament. They batted first in every game.
It will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what order they go with as well, because he messed around with it up against Pakistan and it cost them.
I think that a little bit of that will depend on what score they're chasing. If it's above 160, they might have to get a powerhouse up front.
Around the wicket. Into Dwyer. It's another single.
Pete Bowman says, welcome back, Wayne. You're supporting Australia, right, Wayne? Pete, you know me, I don't support anyone. I just support good cricket. So, Lee, on that back pitch, we've got to keep the viewers updated on the Singapore-Sri Lanka game. Whenever a Singapore player does something well, I'll commentate, and when it's a Sri Lankan, I'll leave it to you, but
Cheers, mate.
it's another wicket out there.
It is another wicket. And there's a little update of what's going on this finals day here. We saw Singapore beat Pakistan this morning and Australia get over India. India were cruising. If I was one of the Indian players, I don't think I'd come out the changing room yet. I'm absolutely gutted, but Australia did brilliantly to peg it back. David Nielsen Scott here comes in from the City end. Good start here.
I think the change up here is Compton's called for the change. He threw out a word to his skipper saying it's harsh for the spinners. Bowling the wind against them.
Nick Compton just saying he wants the bowlers really bowling into the wicket here, bending his back. Sorry
about this morning.
Maybe just a little bit tentative with the wet conditions here, the England bowlers so far. But hopefully it dries up, they'll start really hitting the straps here as Nielsen Scott goes into the wicket. Another dot ball.
And some good advice passed on from Compton, telling Nielsen Scott to hit the wickets, not just try and put it there. And it seems to be working so far this over.
Nick Compton would be maybe a good addition to his club side for Nielsen Scott if it helps him. Do you reckon that'll be able to be sorted, Wayno? That's a wide ball, surely.
Just what we've been working on in the nets with Dave.
At the Port Stunlight Cricket Club. Fine player in the first team down there, David Nielsen Scott. Yeah, Nick may be alluding to the fact that the club captain here may be interested in him, but as he plays for Wayne's club, Nick, not in the interest of last man stands to tout him over the airwaves, because that's a wide.
You see with Dave, hugely talented guy, just sometimes loses his run up a bit there. On that occasion you see that. 4 dot balls, then just dragging one down. Go straight up. Oh, it's the exact same spot that comedy of all happening out here. That's exactly the same area where Blake and Linda took charge earlier. So Sam Lang, once lucky, twice maybe it's a bit of skill there from Sam Lang. He knows where the fielders are.
Well, he's just got his sand wedge working beautifully here, isn't he? He's found his length.
It's a great comeback over there.
Quite good cricket from Jamie Carter here. David Nielsen Scott's absolutely rapid in the outfield, so he's just swapped him over here.
Oh, just crossed a good timing there going across the pitch too. Umpire signals too high.
Vasanika. Roger Karuna very close to retirement as well. So 100 on the board here for Australia. I think Sam Lang will be looking to put his foot down here as he closes in on retiring. He's just rode his luck a little bit in the last couple of overs. Brodie Dwyer surely has got to try and get retired, and then we may see some of the big hitters come in later down the order. I'm excited to see Ziad Abbas. Out into the deep here. Jamie Carter now at cover, just for a single.
So last 8 or 9 balls have been good from England.
So all of a sudden here you've got Adil Hussain, who's got 3 for 15. He's got an over left. This has gone out towards Compton. This will be a single as well. Not overly happy with himself, Sam Lang. He thinks that was in the slot there.
It's good to see some Singapore supporters. John Moore shouting, "Come on, Singapore."
I really think Brodie Dwyer's got to look to kick on here.
Yeah, he's
chewing up a lot of balls to try and get to 50 here.
He's done the anchor roll well, but
he needs to retire. He
needs to go there.
Just the 2 boundaries in 40 balls.
Yeah, he needs to get to 50 in his next 1 or 2 balls now. But he's given his team a platform now.
He certainly has. He's got a chance here.
1 bounce. 1 bounce 4. So Aislinn Dwyer says dedication is live streaming this on the car ride to KFC.
As Ross is carrying a parrot round to the commentary box.
Not quite sure what that's about, but I'm sure we'll get some information on that shortly. So stay tuned. Pete Bowman says, don't mention KFC while Lange is batting. Dave Nielsen-Scott, 3 overs for 16. Not many runs off his bat, just a few wides.
Mate, this is a great comeback spell from David Nielsen-Scott here. He's gone at an economy rate of just under 5-0, which is fantastic in this format. Just hitting the pitch a little bit harder than some of the previous bowlers from England here. And he's really trying his best to push the ball through. It's been hit into the outfield. They just managed to stifle Sam Lang here. His strike rate's dropped over under 200. He's down at strike rate at 166. It's a big, big wide.
That's the only thing. He's bowled very well in the spells. Just struggled with his consistency, but he'll be pleased with the spell. Give him a bit more confidence.
High in the air, Compton's coming underneath it here.
Oh, the Australians have really mastered that shot now today. It's the third time we've seen the ball between the bowler mid-off and mid-on.
So Roscoe is just come round to the box here. Explain this parrot.
Just thought it was obviously left over from the club last night, so I thought it might be quite good in the commentary box.
I know we repeat ourselves, but and I've got limited vocab, but you know. Nick Compton just giving Blake van der Linde a little bit of advice on the field there, but Blake's got his own ideas there and takes those points on board, but we're going to carry on as we are.
Steve Emmett, carbo load in there.
Got to push here. Right, the problem for Australia is that they're going to end up with 2 people retiring, but they're not going to have any overs to enjoy the freedom for the other batters.
I don't think Abbas is going to worry about that. He loves coming in with the 3 or 4 balls to spare. 3 or 4 overs to spare, I should say.
Got up for 2 here, got up for 2.
It seems to be raining sixes on the back pitch there, eh?
Well, I've just heard that they've stopped flying flights over the back pitch just for safety.
I think Wayne's is enjoying the cliche. He's been sitting next to me too long in the commentary box.
I can't get enough of them, Ross.
Got to look for 2 here, got to look for 2. And Brodie Dwyer goes to 50. He's anchored the innings beautifully there.
So we're going to get Brodie Dwyer coming into the commentary tent to talk us through his 51 from 45.
Well batted, Brodie. Big ripple. Always a great insight here is the big man Ziad Abbas. What about Brody?
Cheers, bud. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. So obviously took your role there. You were told to anchor that innings, hold it together after the first game. Firstly, just on that first game, disappointing to miss out?
Yeah, it was. When the game got reduced to 18 overs though, we changed our strategy a little bit to try and go a little bit harder. Obviously my role being an anchor sort of player, traditional player, we went with Matty, who's more of a hitter, so no, it wasn't too disappointing. We got the win. That's what's important.
That is the main thing. That is a great... Fasten the seatbelts. There we go. And that's 4.
Just for the viewers at home as well, Ziad is using a 3 pound .25 bat. If he gets anything on it, goodbye ball.
Man after my own heart there. Don't know why anyone uses these light bats with good pickups. Just get as much wood as possible and pray they don't bang it in.
Exactly right, mate. These days, these days, it's certainly about how big you can lift.
So the skipper comes in to Abbas. I tell you what, that is an amazing power there. Forearms from Ziad Abbas. He's barely punched it through the leg side. That race past Nick Compton out here at Long On, and that's 4 more, and Australia are motoring.
Yes, the tank. Yes, the tank.
So what's the plan, Brody? Are you with the gloves, or are you in the outfield today?
Semi's taken over the gloves. We don't really have a keeper in the side, so we've just sort of been sharing it. But
it's up in the air again. He's got a chance. He's going to reach. What an amazing catch that is. I'll have to watch that again. We've slightly blinded by the commentary tent here. We're going to watch this back. That's an amazing catch, isn't it? Oh, wow. So it looks a bit deceiving from that angle, but we'll watch it back from this one. Yeah, he's well inside. It's a brilliant catch, isn't it? Do you know what I feel for a bass there? Because I've got a funny feeling if that was maybe one of the other fielders in the England side, that he's less likely to catch it.
Brody, so, just before you go, I know your mate Brody Kenyon is watching back home. He says he's got the bourbons and he's going to be watching all night. Have you got a message for Brody?
Thanks, BK. Love you, mate. Awesome work. The KFC tonight for you, I assume.
Cheers, mate, all bad. Well, I'll just nick a couple just to keep me ticking over, good lad. There you go. Now Brody Dwyer is now one of my top players. Helped me into his tee there. That was good stuff.
And, Brody Kenyon's been awarded with a cheeseburger and chips for that 50 not out. Steve Emmett.
So we've got 2 overs left here, by the looks of it. Is that right? 2 overs, yep. They're on 133. If Ziad Abbas was in, I'd be saying 160 maybe. It could be on the cards. But we've got Hayden Page, Jake O'Connell, both good strikers of the ball here. And they've gone to, I think it's Simon Dunning. Now he's going to come into the wind here. Some of these Aussie batsmen are going to fancy getting underneath it. Sri Lanka on the back pitch are 165 for 5 off 18 overs. So Marasinga is on 12, and local Sri Lankan player Irishan De Silva has just gone in at 8. Now anyone local to the area will know that Irishan is a brilliant batsman, so him going in at 8 is that shows how strong the Sri Lankans are. They're going to be looking for 180, 185, but on that back pitch, that's still very harsh. Singapore will feel well in the game there. Page will be looking to get underneath Dunning here, surely. He hit some monster sixes in that first game this morning.
Hayden Page showed a calm head in the previous knock. And I don't know if we've mentioned enough, but they were in all sorts of trouble. I think he put on about 30 with himself there. Under the last man stands rule. Oh! Oh my word!
Oh, that is...
I'll let you talk us through that one, Lee.
Right, okay, so... Oh!
Confusion there. I don't know what's happening now. Simon Dumming going for double play, but it's only relevant on a catch.
So, trying to explain that basically the ball's been blocked by Page. I thought it was actually really good running from O'Connell.
It was. I don't know if he called loud enough. Maybe Page didn't hear him.
I think Page just didn't seem to pick it up. He looked up, he saw O'Connell charging at him, so O'Connell's then saw the panic in Page, turned around. Page then saw O'Connell's not now running, and Page just ran out. There's quite a strong breeze going across, so you have to be... Nick, with just over and over to go now. 1:36. What are we looking for here? Under 150.
And Nick Compton saying under 150 is what they're hoping for from here.
Yeah. Well, par we've said is 180 for the last few days. This wet weather's brought that par right down.
Brody Dwyer returns. He was eating a cheeseburger 2 minutes ago and he's back at the crease.
And some of your prayers are being answered here, Wayno. The sun's come out here at Chester. So if you're in the local area, come down. Catch the second half of these semi-finals, or come down for the big game. The LMS World Series final, which will take place later today. I reckon that'll be around 2 o'clock.
Yeah, we're obviously keeping an eye on the weather. We brought it forward by 3 hours. There is forecast of rain, and heavy rain, 5 o'clock. A lot of these teams are on flights back to their respective countries tomorrow.
Good shot. Down the ground here. Dwyer back in. So Brody Dwyer, who was just about to tuck into a bit of a sandwich there, is straight back out there. So he hasn't got any indigestion.
He's asked Steve Emmett to put his chips and cheeseburger into the microwave for when he comes out. Gonna be a quick turnaround before they go back into the field.
So 6 down on the back. Duan Rajakaruna is back in, the retired batter. He's batting with Irishanda Silva here. They're 176 off 19. So that is massive. That if they can just stop them getting the home run, then they're going to finish probably under the 190 mark. So Singapore, who've played an awful lot of games on pitch too, just through weather and scheduling, it probably feels like their home ground, Wayne.
Yeah, there's been no complaints from Singapore when we put them on the back pitch. A lot of teams love the live streaming, but as you say, I think that back square suits them. I think they've got a few supporters in those houses there now.
Well, this is Adil Hussain here, so just as a little nuance of LMS cricket, obviously we had Sam Lang and we had Brody Dwyer about to retire at roughly around the same time. Surely the Australian team would have wanted Lang to retire first, known for his powerful hitting. Brody batted beautifully, but as I say that, he's hit it for 4, so what do I know? Talking rubbish as normal. That's 4 to Dwyer.
What a shot from Dwyer. Cashing in at the back end of the Australian innings.
So, obviously working towards the small boundary here. Nick Compton's just saying to Adil Hussain here, you've got a massive offside boundary, Adil. You're coming round the wicket. Why not bring everyone a bit squarer and just bowl out near the wide line here? Make him fetch it.
And Brody Kenyon Brodie Dwyer's good mate back in Australia says, watch how big Broads can hit a ball here. We've obviously seen him play the anchor role, but I think he's got something in the tank. So does Brodie Kenyon. Luke Pittman agrees.
He's been the standout bowler here for England, though. He's got 3 for a deal. Don't be surprised if he adds to that in this last over, as it looks like there's been a wicket on the back pitch. They're all out. They are all out on the back pitch, so a collapse in the final over here. They're going to look for 2. Adil Hussein's gone after it. They're going to look for 2.
Great cricket from Brodie Dwyer there. Well supported from Jake O'Connell.
And my boys Singapore have gone with the double play to finish the innings for Sri Lanka over there. Sri Lanka have finished under 180, and that is a par score on pitch 2. So all of a sudden Sri Lanka, from flying in the middle overs, that monster innings from Shalika Kalawithrana of 33 off 10 balls really catapulted them forward. But
this is good cricket from Adil Hussain, pushing it wide Yorker, and very clever cricket.
Great spell on the back.
2 Aussies as well.
Vineet got 2 for 17 on the back there, and obviously that double play could really hurt them at the end there. So that looks an exciting second half in store there. We're going to come back to this one. It's 147 for 5.
2 balls to go. 129 the total.
Who do you want on strike? Who do you want on strike for the final ball?
It's going to be another 2 here. So
on Facebook Live before this next ball, who I know a few of Brodie's friends are there. Has Brodie got a big bomb in him? Has he got that?
Where's
6?
he going to go? Inside, outside, extra cover. No, I think his best chance here is going over long on.
Some of the local lads here from Chester coming down to support the game. We actually did a bit of commentary practice at our game yesterday, Wayno, and proved that several of our lads can't do it. But to be fair, they were commentating on us blocking out for the draw.
Dwyer.
Where's that gone?
You're going to go hard yet?
Got
just the 1. Australia finish on 151. Simon Dunning shouts 150, probably not enough here. I think that could rile a few of the Aussies. Lee, what's your opinion? I know you've been a bit biased towards England during this tournament. Do you think that's enough?
I think it probably is, you know. At this precise moment, I'd actually rather be Australia. I think they've got the momentum from this morning. They're used to the wicket, they're used to the outfield. And at the moment, just looking at England, I'm not sure if they're firing on full cylinder. I could be wrong and they could knock it off in 10 overs, but I've just got a feeling Australia could really come into this game in the second half.
I think Nick Compton's the key, Lee. I think the England batting strong, but I think the experience of Nick Compton is going to be the real key to this run chase. And this is the first time that they're going to be chasing in this game. The previous 5 games have all been defending a total. So we're going to be joined in the commentary box by Rob Stevenson. Rob, have you got any inside information on the Aussies? Who they're going to be opening the bowling with here?
Well, I think they're going to go with what they've done pretty much all tournament, and young Jake O'Connell opening up with Marty Henderson, and they'll be hoping that Marty can bounce back from that golden duck that he got there. LBW to Hussain, he'll be absolutely fuming over that, so they'll be hoping that that really rolls him to step up and produce a bowling performance like he did. I think it was yesterday when he bowled his 4 overs straight, very tight.
Look at the scorecard. Brodie Dwyer was left out of the quarterfinal, and he's come back with an outstanding 66, not out from 52, playing the anchor role and then cashing at the end there.
Hugely important 50 off 30 balls there from Sammy Lang as well, and I do agree with Lee Dixon. You know, at that stage when one was on 49, one was on 48, you know, maybe a few runs before you are looking at that and thinking that benefit for the team maybe. Sam Lang to come back in, he goes down the ground, good chance of extra sixes towards the end, but that would have shell-shocked Australia early on. The quick loss of 3 wickets with Nathan Tyrrell, Srinivasan, and then Marty Henderson. So those two, Brodie Dwyer and Marty Henderson, Brodie Dwyer and Samuel Lang did exceptionally well to rebuild from there, from what could have been a disastrous situation for the Australians. Adil Hussain, wonderful bowling figures,
Wonderful
great
again.
bowler.
He's been outstanding the whole tournament. David Nielsen-Scott backed him up well.
Blake van der Linde also tight, 4 overs, none for 28, and Simon Dunning 4 overs, none for 27. And as we heard, Dunning certainly feeling that they're happy to chase that 151. I'd say past score 160, 165 would have been what Australia are after, Wayne.
Well, I think a 25 for 3, if you had offered the Aussies 151, I think they would have taken it, Rob.
They certainly would have taken it at that stage. They did slow up a little bit at one stage, the mid 50 to 75% through the innings, but good little recovery there. That was a huge catch from Nick Compton. Judged it so well, knew where the rope was, and to take Ziad Abbas on the boundary there was massive for me.
Yeah, good game awareness. Lee Dixon pointed out to the fact that probably a lot of other amateur players would have maybe palmed that over the ropes for 6 or mistimed that, but Nick Compton showing the benefit of years of outfield practice.
Absolutely, yeah, that's a lesson to be learned for all of us. Practice a bit of that on the boundary. Incredible stuff there. Ziad Abbas would have just got going if that had been a 6 instead. You feel that he probably could have added another 10 or 15 to the score potentially. You never know. Good running there from Jake O'Connell at the end. Good urgency. Adil Hussain though, just great pace bowling. We've seen him over the years and know he's a quality LMS bowler. I mean, you'd remember him from the World Championships back at Lords in 2013.
Yeah, he's 17-year-old, and I know Lee Dixon from the Chester Boughton Cricket Club is very keen to sign him up as an overseas player for his club next year, and I think a few other locals watching the footage will be thinking the same. As we look at the draw, 2 semi-finals been played simultaneously.
They're both delicately poised as well at this stage. I'd say both pitches maybe about 10 or 15 under par the score. The back pitch a higher scoring pitch, a bit smaller. So 177 being posted there by the Sri Lankans, and on this pitch 150 being posted by the Australians. So a bit under par, but the pressure of chasing in a semi-final, guys tend to bat a bit differently. So
I think with the Sri Lankan score there, I think that's a good score up. Ajanta Mendes, very, very astute captain, and he's got a good bowling lineup, and they bowl to good areas, and I think that's going to be a tough run chase for Singapore there.
Absolutely, Ajantha Mendes' bowling will be crucial, as with Andy Solomons. There's a lot of good bowling in that Sri Lankan.
Ratanaka's right at the top of the bowling averages.
Absolutely, so there you got 3 bowlers that are exceptional, and in this Aussie bowling lineup I think Nathan Tyrrell could be key. Slightly different bowler to the rest of them, the one Australian spin option, so his 4 overs could be massive here as England look to score at over 7.5 and over. They'll probably be looking to get after the spinner. They can't afford to have his 4 overs going for 20 or 25, and we can see Nathan Tyrrell on the screen there just behind the scorecard.
So Nick Compton should be opening the batting for the England team. He's yet to get a 50 in LMS. I think he's held out in the 40s a few times. So will be interesting to see if he finds his way to 50 in this innings.
It's just the first ball about to happen over in the Sri Lanka game, Singapore versus Sri Lanka, so we'll just see if we can switch over for a few balls just to catch the start of that game.
So who's opening the bowling there for Sri Lanka, Rob?
So let's have a look. It looks like Andy Solomons is the man to open the bowling for Sri Lanka, so we got Bhargav Vadaraja opening for Singapore. Bhargav Vadaraja.
Very good.
And then Sridharan Trichimani is the number 2 batsman. So important first few overs here, Singapore versus Sri Lanka. Singapore will be confident of chasing these runs. They've got the impressive Manpreet Singh in their lineup. Crucial first over here. We switch over to it just now. So Andy Solomons to bowl to Vadaraja. 178 the victory target.
So Mazza Murray asking, do Australia play final straight after this game? They have to win the game first, Mazza, but if they do, the final will probably give it about a half an hour break. We obviously need to watch this weather closely, so it's a flexible schedule, but in all theory, if everything goes according to plan, we should start half an hour after this game completes. What time will it be then, Australia now, Rob?
Time in Australia, it's a 9-hour time difference to Sydney, so it'll be about 9:30 at night there.
It's a great start to the innings for Singapore.
Absolutely. So, yeah, 9:30 in the evening in Sydney. A couple of hours behind over in Perth. There's a few different time zones in Australia, so late Sunday night potentially for LMS players in Australia. I'm sure that if they reach the final, not many of them will be going to bed.
Let's cut away for two more. So Manpreet Singh, he's been the player of the tournament so far from a Singapore point of view. He comes in at number 4. He's an elegant player, but right now we've got Bhargav and Trichy Mani at the crease.
It's a quick start here from Singapore. Helped by the 4-leg buys off that first ball. Oh, just again unlucky for the Sri Lankan bowler. That's twice this over now. Through the keeper, and the important runs there.
Keeping a bit low there on that occasion.
So already in the first 4 balls we've seen 8 in extras go through the keeper here, so tough start for the Sri Lankans in the field.
Angus says it's 9:38, and that's been backed up by Bian Beanie. So how late will you be staying up to watch the final? Should Australia make it? Will you be going to work tomorrow?
There could be a few upset wives and girlfriends around Australia with their LMS boyfriends and husbands with their phone on in bed, listening to our dulcet tones. Hopefully we can keep them awake late enough with an exciting final. So we go, the Australians gathering to come out into the field. The English openers there. Looks like Nick Compton will be opening, doesn't it, Wayne?
Yeah, Nick Compton and Aaron Lomas. England have left Haroon Khan out of their lineup. Haroon's arguably their best batsman after Nick Compton. So could they regret that decision?
So
we'll find out shortly.
Why would they have done that, Wayne? Have you heard?
I think it's just a rotational policy to bring more players into the game. They've decided now that they probably wanted the extra seamer on the wickets, so they brought in David Nielsen-Scott. David Nielsen-Scott, clean hitter of the ball. I think he would be coming in towards the latter stages of the innings.
He's a local player from around here, isn't he, Wayne?
That's correct.
So we're just about to get going here. Australia versus England. Second innings, the run chase for England. They need 151 for victory. This last man stands World Series semi-final for a spot in the final up against either Singapore or Sri Lanka, who are now playing on the back pitch.
So Darren O'Connell says very late, but I start at 3, but I'll be watching the final, and I'm sure he'll be watching this over very closely because his son's about to bowl to test cricketer Nick Compton.
There we go. So first up, Jake O'Connell. He's done this in the last game. He's bowled against Wasim Jaffer, another Test cricketer, and he got one in short of a length that surprised Jaffer. So he obviously has no lack of confidence. And here we go. First ball of the run chase.
It's cut away. Should just be 2. The bass comes round.
Solid placement there from Compton. Almost 3 runs there as well. If they'd run that a bit harder, he just really picked that gap beautifully.
Good footwork. Well picked up and thrown in by Hayden Page. And there's a monster of a 6 on the back pitch. That one's flown into the clubhouse. So O'Connell into Compton. A beautiful balance there from Compton. Pushes the first one hard.
Just the single there. So important for Australia to keep Compton under control here. He's been exceptional for England throughout this tournament and throughout his LMS career.
So Australia got a great team spirit. They play for one another.
Absolutely, they've really bonded well as a team this week. Okay, and that looks like it could have, well, it's just in the gap there, but they'll come back for two. Nathan Tyrrell coming around and throwing it in. A bit of a bonus run there. They have bonded exceptionally well, this Australian lineup. Sam Lang and Steve Emmett, the team manager, have done brilliantly to keep all the boys together on and off the pitch. They've loved being around each other. Quite a range of characters and backgrounds of players in the team, so that's fantastic to see Last Man Stands bringing all these guys together in the name of their country. Outside off stump from Jake O'Connell, he'll be disappointed with that. Relieves a bit of the pressure. So Aaron Lomas gets a freebie early on. There we go. Jake O'Connell, as we were discussing in the quarterfinal, carrying an injury which he picked up a few days ago against the USA, a back injury, which is obviously so difficult for a fast bowler. Just short of a length there, through to the keeper. Good comeback from O'Connell.
Yeah, dot balls are gold.
Just need a few tight overs here, Australia, just to get that required run rate up a bit. Make sure that Nick Compton doesn't take the game away from them.
Oh,
great bowling from O'Connell. But there's no third man there, so that could well run away. Unlucky there from the Aussies. Great ball, fended down by Lomas. Just runs away to the boundary.
some steep bounce from O'Connell there.
When he just gets it in just short of a length, that's the kind of ball that surprised Wasim Jaffa in the last game as well.
The wind's picking up here now. So the wind's blowing across the ground from the clubhouse end towards the scorebox. So this should suit a bit of way swing for Marty Henderson, who likes to get the ball up to the bat.
For me, this is a huge spell. Marty Henderson, such a determined, experienced LMS cricketer. Particularly after him getting out for a golden duck earlier, he'll be absolutely pumped to make it up for the team here. One of the most competitive cricketers going around. Brilliant all-rounder, great fielder as well. So I think a big 4 overs here from Marty is crucial to where this game goes.
The thing that's impressed with me about Marty on this tour is how quickly he's adapted to conditions. You see there, just rolling his fingers over that. He's obviously played most of his LMS cricket on non-turf pitches, which is very, very different to playing on the slightly slower turf wickets of England. You'll see quite a few cutters here from Henderson. There we go, there's one there. And the wicket's responding.
So Marty Henderson sharing a bit of a joke there with the England batsman. He comes back.
So this is the first time that England have had to chase in this whole tournament.
It's a whole different mindset, that.
And I think it's Nick Compton. It's going to be interesting to see how he approaches this innings, because he's played with freedom in the previous games, but I know how desperate he is for his country to go to the final, so he might have to play a bit more of a steady knock. As you see here, he wants to try and play risk-free cricket.
So they picked out Nathan Tyrrell there in the deep. So that'll be 2 runs they'll come back for. Well on there to Marty Henderson. Decent first over from him. Young Jake O'Connell to come back on to bowl the 3rd over. I think Jake will probably just bowl a couple of overs here unless he's going really well, and they'll hold back a couple for him later. Marty Henderson, if he's going well, I'm pretty sure could bowl through. Look at Aaron Lomas's figures there. Stunning stuff. 145 innings. Average of over 100. 102 average at 161 strike rate. 78 50s.
A lot of not outs in there. Plenty not outs. Get to 50 more times than not.
Go, so Lomas dabs it down to backward point. Hayden Page coming in. Just a single to him.
England hit in with the win for the first 10. So that's something to be thought to think about.
Absolutely.
The back end's going to be tougher. So if Australia can keep England to below 75-80 for the first 10, and they're right in this game. I think they might continue with O'Connell, yeah. I think they're going to bowl him through. I would, from this situation. Don't think there's any merit in holding him back for the second 10.
It'll be interesting to see at what stage they bring on Nathan Tyrrell. Was that a chance there? Looks like it could have been, judging by the reaction of the Australian players. Bit of a smile from Sam Lang, which suggests that it may not have been an edge, but there was a loud appeal from both long on and long off, so they must have heard something there. Young Jake O'Connell, 17-year-old, in his second over.
Finding the gap between middle. Said this before.
Good fielding there from Marty Anderson, coming round from long off.
Australians have been good in the field. They're a bit sluggish in their first game. They seemed a bit jet lagged, but they've acclimatised well here.
Jet lag and I think nerves as well. They all came in so pumped. You know, a lot of them have been spending the best part of the last year trying to qualify for this tournament, and a big build-up. A lot of excitement about the team, and I'm coming over to the UK to play here, and I think there was a lot of nerves there, but they've really fielded well throughout the rest of the tournament.
And Luke Pittman saying he's got a crush on Marty.
Good fielding there from Jake, but slid a little bit too early, so England able to come back for 2 there. Another 2 to Nick Compton. Finishes off the over from young Jake O'Connell. None for 15 from his first 2, and we'll see Marty Henderson come back onto bowl here. Compton coming out of his crease a few times here, Wayne. Going to get after the bowlers, do you think?
Yeah, I think he's just trying to get to the pitch of the ball. The wicket's a bit slow.
On the back pitch. Bringing it to Singapore here.
Great. Oh, what a catch. What a catch at mid-off. Fortunately, the camera's not able to pick up that catch, but that's an outstanding catch.
There we go. So, first wicket for Sri Lanka there against Singapore.
Aaron Lomas goes square of the wicket. Hayden Page coming in. That's 2 runs.
So that wicket was Vadu Raja. He was caught by Raja Karuna on the boundary at long off the bowling of Andy Solomons. 10 off 10 balls for him. The other opener, Trichimani, is going very well. 26 off 15 balls for him. Sorry, correct there. That wicket was actually Vineet Pulakottal, so 45 for 2.
Solid push from Lomas. Compton's running on first one hard. This is great running. Good cricket from the English boys there. Lomas, deft touch into the offside. Compton aware. And from the outset, running the first one hard.
Good running from the English here, keeping the pressure on the Australians. Good come back there from Marty Anderson. Dot ball, so important in this context. So, just to correct there, so that was Pulakottal who was caught for 1 off 3 balls off the bowling of Marasinga. Jansen Mendes catching him in the deep. 45 for 2 after 5.2 overs in that run chase. Needing 178 for victory, Singapore.
On this pitch, 7.77 required.
Good bowling there from Marty Henderson. Looked like a little bit of movement there.
Keep an eye on that run rate required. Anything below 9, England will feel they're on top, but as it starts rising, Australia will feel they're gaining the ascendancy.
It shows the mental strength of this Australian team, Wayne. That last game, India looked all money on to win around the halfway point. The Aussies refused to let their heads go down, just backed themselves, just kept it tight, worked hard in the field, and managed to turn around the situation in incredible fashion.
Yeah, the chemistry is good in the Australian side. They obviously, as you said earlier, from all parts of Australia, but they've got something a little bit different to a few of the other teams in the field. They play for each other, and I think in close games they can often be the difference.
Absolutely, it's a spread of representation from across the Australian leagues here. The South Australian Matt Angus, he's sitting out this game, but we've got a New South Welshman, Jake O'Connell, bowling now. A couple from Queensland as well in the lineup. Hayden Page from Canberra there, just doing the fielding. So ACT.
At the end of this over, I'm going to be leaving you. Ross Coward will be taking up my position. Ross has been spending his break Googling a few more cliches. So we look forward to some of Ross's commentary next up.
So 152 the victory target here. Aaron Lomas on strike. An average of over 100 in last man stands.
Firing in a Yorker at Compton there.
Yeah, O'Connell, Yorker there to Lomas, is it? No, Lomas is, sorry, just do a scoreboard update here.
So O'Connell to Compton. It's a no ball. No ball.
Coming back for two, it's a quick throw in, this could be a chance.
Oh, that's outstanding work from Henderson. Just the throw over the top eluded him there. Compton was aware that it was a free hit and he put on the accelerator there.
That was a real chance there for Australia. It was a good throw in from Henderson. Be interested to have another look at that.
You often see that in LMS cricket when someone's aware of a free hit. It's amazing how much quicker they run between the wickets to get back for two.
So there we go, free hit for England here. Nick Compton reaches high. He's picked the gap there. Did exceptionally well there.
That's a 4-ounce slap.
Clever bowling from young Jake O'Connell. Try to avoid the six there, but Compton approached well and got over it. Picked the gap between Ziad Abbas and Brodie Dwyer out in the deep. So important for young Jake O'Connell to bounce back here. Australia need a wicket, you feel, just to arrest a bit of this run rate flow. Jake O'Connell to Nick Compton, the former England Test player. Down the leg side, so difficult over here from young Jake. See if he can bounce back here with a wicket. It would be a huge wicket if he did. There you go, that's in the offside, but it'll go out to Puri Srinivasan out at deep extra cover, so just a single there for England to end off the over. Jake O'Connell finishes that over. 3 overs now, none for 26 for him. Compton looking good, looking solid. Attacking all of the seam bowlers. That was a definite chance there, even if he had gathered that cleanly, although the throw was wide of the stumps, that was a definite run-out opportunity for the Australians. There would have been a big wicket to get out Aaron Lomas, who was running to the non-striker's end. So a chance missed there, I think. They'll be aware of that, the Australians, but they're now 36 off 5 overs, so England haven't really got away, but you'd say that they're probably on top here without the early wicket, Wayne.
England slightly on top, but this is an even game. I don't think the Australians will feel that. Australians will feel they're right in the game, yeah.
Marty Henderson on to bowl his 3rd over. On the ground, they'll go to Brodie Dwyer for the single.
Marty Henderson just asking Nick Compton how he's enjoying the format.
Aaron Lomas.
Clever shot from Lomas, using all his experience.
Well in there from Ziad Abbas. He was quickly in to make sure that he cut off the two there. Big match player, Abbas, big moment player. As we saw in the last game, coming on. Bowlers 2 overs late, as he's done a couple of times already in this tournament. Cool head under pressure. Ziad Abbas out in the deep, good dive. So 2 runs there for the Aussies. Backing up by Brodie Dwyer. Marty Henderson, tight figures so far. Only 13 runs off his 13 deliveries. Nick Compton will be well aware of the importance for him to get through to 50 here and retire. He's looked so good all tournament. This really is the big wicket here. If Australia can get Compton, they'll be on top, you feel. That one's just the single out there to Ziad Abbas.
$112 balls to 112 runs required from 72 balls. Got to watch that gap between the runs and balls.
It's like a bit of a slower ball there from Marty Henderson. Good stuff. Another dot ball. It's a really good spell building here, and he seems to command a lot of respect from these English batsmen who aren't really going after him so far.
I'm not sure Lomas is going about the right way with Compton there. It's hard. Compton probably feels that one of them have to go hard, yeah, but I'd rather, if I was in the English camp, know that you've got Compton back in the hat. So you don't want to put too much pressure on your marquee player here.
There we go. So Marty Henderson, an incredible LMS record, 390 wickets at an average of 21. Huge amount of experience. And we've got our first change of the bowling. Puri Srinivasan, and his first ball belted back past long on.
So I'm going to be leaving you in the commentary box. Taking over is going to be Ross Cawood. Look out for any cliches. Ross, have you got any new cliches for us?
That shot from that ball went like a tracer bullet from Nick Compton. Great shot.
Oh, such power in that shot.
Have you got any more, Ross?
Messy fielding there from Henderson allows the Englishman 2 runs.
You know, when Compton hits the ball, it stays hit. He's hitting it so cleanly.
Certainly does. It's going well here, Nick Compton. 29 off 18 balls now. There we go. That's out to Marty Henderson, who does a cleaner job of it this time. Or does he not? No. Straight through him, and you can see the disappointment on Marty Henderson's face there. He's a exceptional fielder. You don't often see mistakes from Marty, but that's 2 in a row that are gone hard out to him there.
Compton hit that straight out the meat of his bat. Glorious to watch.
Right through Marty Henderson there. So Srinivasan, that one out to the leg side. Ziad Abbas just for the single. It's important here for Puri to settle with the ball. Ross, he's gone for 11 runs off his first 4 balls. Admittedly, one boundary that was pretty unlucky.
Yep, the sooner he settles the better. Lomas on strike. Doesn't quite middle it. Scamper through for a single.
I think he was nowhere near middling that, Ross. Not quite middling it. That's 7 overs now. Marty Henderson does come back on to end off his spell. Brilliant spell so far from Henderson. Come on to bowl his 4th. Just a quick update from the other game. So if we're looking at Singapore versus Sri Lanka, it's now 3 wickets down. Singapore 70 runs for 3 wickets after 9.4 overs. So that's delicately poised there. 51 balls remaining, 108 runs required for Singapore.
Lomas just punches it out into the cover region.
So at this stage, Ross, you know all these English players well, you know their temperaments. What do you say? 53 for none after 7. Are you saying England are odds on from here, or?
I'll definitely, for my money, England all the way. Another fantastic shot by Nick Compton.
Cleared
6 more.
Srinivasan.
Great shot. 6 all the way.
Great stuff there.
Nick Compton looking dangerous. Just what England need. Need a 50 from him and get him back in the hut.
Look, he's just attacking the bowlers. Out of his crease again, getting to the pitch. He's done that so many deliveries so far. And just a little single to get off strike. Moved to 43 off 23 balls. And this is what the Australian team were fearing. They knew that Nick Compton, getting him early or at least restraining him, was key in this match. And it's got away from them. Got the start that England were wanting.
As we know, cricket's a funny game. Anything can happen at any given time.
That's
Great
a
shot
single
by
down to long on. Brodie Dwyer. So Marty Henderson coming towards the end of a good spell here. Just got hit for that 6 by Compton in this over. But he's still recorded figures none for 22 off 3.3 overs at the moment. Sorry, 3.4 overs, none for 23. Straight down the ground. Torrey Srinivasan coming round, so that will just be the single, and that's the end of Marty Henderson's spell. So none for 24 for Marty, so good spell for him there, but Australia would have been desperately hoping for him to pick up a wicket and have the scalp of one of these 2 openers, Ross.
Would agree, but he's bowled a good spell. Economy rate's been good. They haven't let the batsman get on top of him.
So he's bowled well, and then now Hayden Page coming on to bowl. So Srinivasan pulled after just 1 over. Did get a bit of tap in that over, but I expect we'll be seeing him again shortly. Hayden Page, who has been a match turner in this tournament already, played a crucial innings this morning. He's batting as last man standing against India. Great knock of 40 not out, including 3 sixes.
A fantastic shot down the ground by Compton.
Just a single to Srinivasan. So I think you need characters like Hayden Page or Ziad Abbas, these guys that come in and back themselves, Ross, and can turn games on their head. So we saw that also with that brilliant run out the other day from Hayden Page to take out one of the South African openers. That really turned the match.
They fantastic cricketers, guys, and characters. Great to have them here at the tournament.
Single down there to Brodie Dwyer, who top scored for Australia earlier today. Hayden Page, solid start from him.
For my money, the captain should be looking to get the left arm spinner Tyrrell on into the attack, just to make the batsman hit the ball, force the pace, to change it up.
I think that's probably a bit tactical there, Ross. I think it's probably saving Nathan for the other batsman. He's probably a bit worried about what Nick Compton could do to the spin, especially with a shorter boundary on the leg side. In the next 10 overs, that will come into play. So the other batsman will be looking to go after Tyrrell then, and he'll be hoping for a few leading edges to go up as they target that shorter boundary. Shot out there to extra cover where Marty Henderson fields that cleanly.
Yeah, sorry Robert, I have to disagree. The game could be gone by then. Get Tyrrell on too late, then you would have the hindsight of 2020 saying we should have done this, should have done that.
It's the left arm spinner speaking in the commentary box from Ross here.
Fantastic shot by Nick Compton.
Into
That
the
went
gap.
like another tracer bullet.
That goes down to the nets, and that's a magnificent innings there from Nick Compton. Really going well. Excellent stuff from him.
It's
That should be his
50
50.
of 27 balls.
It's just what England needed there. 50 off 27 balls from the former England opener Nick Compton, continuing his sterling LMS career. Brilliant stuff there. 3 fours, 1 6. Well, it should be 4 fours and 1 6, shouldn't it, Roscoe? I think we should have a 50 off 27 there instead of 46 off 26.
So Simon Dunning, the next batsman for England. Big hitting all-rounder. one of the most feared batsmen and all-rounders in the London leagues.
I think that we may be able to hear a few words from Nick Compton about his innings there, Roscoe.
Yep, it'd be great to get a bit of insight onto how he went about that knock.
So 50 off 27 balls for Nick Compton. Excellent batting there. Picked his shots exceptionally well. He's joining us in the commentary box just now. Well batted, Nick.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, not an easy, especially when you're chasing. Just a bit of a tricky wet dobber. But kind of got to get yourself in a bit more. You know, it's not the sort of track that has been the case over the last few days, where you can kind of just set yourself and whack from the go. I think you've got to kind of get the pace, you know, which I thought the Australian batsmen did quite well. They just didn't quite have that impetus towards the end, you know. But I don't know. Hopefully we can keep going.
Fantastic knock there, Nick. Looked like you said, you got yourself in, put the bad balls away, sort of kept the scoreboard ticking over, and set the England run chase up nicely.
Just got to make sure, I think with these run chasers, guys get the run chase in their head a little bit too much, you know. Still important that we just maintain a positive way that we've played, you know. Take the scoreboard out of your equation, just play the ball, play the conditions.
Well bowled there by Nathan Tyrrell. Simon Dunning, big hitting right-hander.
Yeah, I don't think bringing Simon in at this stage was the right idea. But look, if he gets hold of a couple, we know how far it can go, but it's difficult to face the left armour here.
Oh, that's a massive shot.
There you go.
Let's come over the commentary box.
Makes up for the 2 dot balls. Just 5 balls from Simon will be nice.
He's hit that out of the park. That's 3 rows back.
Yeah, it is quite nice batting there. It sort of sets you up because there's a big wind, huge wind coming this way. So you only have to half hit it, and it tends to stay here.
So there's the last over here with the wind, and just quick update from the Singapore versus Sri Lanka game. 88 for 4 now, Singapore. So we've had another wicket there. Harkarat Singh gone for 10 off 13 balls off the bowling of De Silva. So 88 for 4 after 12 overs in the Singapore game.
Run, 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 run!
Singapore require 90 runs off 40 balls to reach the World Series final.
Keep going, boys. Just got to keep going here. These little totals, 150. You almost want to have the score on the board, and Australia did that. It wasn't a perfect innings, but you know they were mature enough to go, you know what, we've lost a few wickets. Let's make sure we bat responsibly here, and they did that. You know, they got 150 on the board. Yes, they probably would have liked 160, 165, ideally, but they put the pressure back on us. So we've just got to maintain our head here. You know, one good partnership here breaks the back of it, but also we just got to make sure we don't get stuck. It's quite easy to get stuck on a slow wicket. New batsman comes in, not easy to get the ball away.
Couldn't agree with you more there, Nick. It's very important that the guys keep the scoreboard ticking over. Make sure your best players are facing the most amount of balls.
Run up, run up.
Simon Dunning just running it down to third man. Lomas playing the anchor role here, just going at just over a runner ball.
It's played okay, just got to maintain that intent, you know.
Yep.
Even if you're playing the anchor role. I've done that a few times, as you know.
Yep.
And you end up building, just struggling to hit the bad ball. Run, 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 run! Go! Dennis! Got to keep looking for 2s.
Got to run the first one hard, put pressure on the fielders. Thanks, Compo. Catch you later, buddy.
Keep running hard, boys.
Always fantastic to get some insight from Nick Compton. So Simon Dunning back on strike. Page comes in. The slow ball. Oh, he has
Goes up in the air. It's going to land safely there, is it? Puri Srinivasan comes round and it goes down. That's a big opportunity there gone for the Australians. He managed to get well there and would have expected to take that. He's a good fielder. Puri Srinivasan has taken a couple of big catches this tournament, but as we see here, look out, deep mid-wicket. He had to run a long way, but he got there well in time.
As they say, catches win matches, Rob.
There you go. Puri will be disappointed with that one. Big moment there in the context of this match. England now cruise control, I feel. 85 for none after 87 for none after 10.4. Update from the other game, the other semi-final. The Sri Lankan bowlers keeping it pretty tight here. 99 for 4 Singapore after 13 overs, so now requiring 79 off 34 balls, and we've just had a huge wicket there, Roscoe. Massive wicket. Manpreet Singh, the star Singapore batsman, well, star Singapore player in general, gone off the bowling of Ratnayaka, caught by Raja Karuna for 35 off 22 balls. He had hit 2 sixes and was really, you feel, Singapore's key to winning that game. So Sri Lanka well on top now, 99 for 5. Here we go, so having a look at the Sri Lanka-Singapore game here. Singapore surprised a lot of people during this tournament. They took on Sri Lanka in the early stages of the tournament. Lost them there, but they've come back hard. They had a fantastic win against South Africa, one of the great last man stands matches, which Manpreet Singh dominated in with bat and ball, but now they're struggling. 79 required off 34 balls now for Singapore.
So it's Nathan Tyrrell back into the attack with his left arm through and around.
So Simon Dunning here. See another of your English Colpack imports, Roscoe.
Yes, he is South African by birth. Lived in England for a long time. Yeah.
What about yourself? Did you get in on a Colpack back in the day?
Cost too much for the local leagues. So.
And that goes to leg side. Puri, good fielding there. He'll be tremendously disappointed with that missed opportunity. Fantastic cricketer, Srinivasan. Nathan Tyrrell just drawing off the ball, just helping get a few more revs. We've seen some prodigious turn from him already this tournament. We'll need a bit more of that. Bit fuller there. Simon Dunning down to long on. They're coming back for 2, I think. No, good fielding there in the deep. Excellent stuff. Lomas wanted the 2. Good urgency from him.
Got on the Facebook live feed, we've got Sean Davies saying the Aussies are gone. Pete Bowman saying no ways. They're still in it. I would agree, Pete. It's never over. You're always in the game until the last ball.
Paul Avramovsky, come on Australia, we need a wicket. Avramovsky plays in the same side as the current bowler, Nathan Tyrrell. Pretty sure that Paul's got over 200 wickets himself. Or I know that he's played a lot of games, that's for sure. So good to see you watching us, Paul.
Well, Simon Dunning smashes it back to hits the stumps. Goes down to long off. Let's camp it through for 1.
So now the equation. At the end of that over, England going well, 95 for Norway after 12 overs. Nick Compton, the former England Test opener, retired 50 off 27. That was a crucial knock there. England now requiring 57 runs to win from 40 balls, so Australia needs something special. They've done well that over. Decent over there from Nathan Tyrrell, 5 singles off it. But you feel really here, Ross, that something's got to change, and something's got to change fairly soon, and I think Simon Dunning could be key. 18 off 11, he's looking dangerous.
It's pretty simple in my eyes, Rob. Australia need wickets. Oh, Simon Dunning, big shots. Gone
high
out.
up in the air.
Hasn't even nearly middled it. Let's get through for a single.
Ziad Abbas out there at long off. Could well be seeing him bowl a couple of late overs if Australia can take it that far. They've got to show the same mental strength that they did in the last game against India to really pull themselves back into the game. So that's down the ground. There'll just be a single there. Out to long on. Marty Henderson throws it back in. So I'll be handing over shortly back to Lee Dixon again. Just a quick update from the backfield again. Sri Lanka batted first in the other semi-final. Got 177 all out against Singapore, who are now currently 110 for 5. So Manbir Singh has come in. He's hit 11 off 7 balls. Trying to help Singapore recover here. Current equation though is that they need 67 runs to win off 28 balls, Singapore, with 3 wickets in hand. Thanks Ross, and I'll hand over to Lee just now.
Thanks, Rob. Good afternoon, Lee.
Hi, Roscoe. High in the air. So, been watching this from the house behind us, Roscoe, and it looks like England are in a very commanding position.
They are looking very, very calm in this run chase. They've got Compton retired on 50.
God, he batted well, didn't he?
Batted really well.
Massive advantage for the England side having their marquee player here over the weekend.
Oh, that's a fantastic hit.
Oh my God, he's
Simon
boom
Dunning
into the canal. There it is.
Simon Dunning's enjoyed that.
That's just a little pick up there, a flick of the wrist, and that's sailing down the river. Is that the end of Australia's hopes as well?
England in a commanding position here. You need wickets. Simple as that.
Surely you've got to look to maybe roll the dice here, Australia. Bring the field up maybe. Do something. Because at the moment they're going out of this World Series if they don't change it right now.
I think good tactic to keep Tyrrell in the attack. He's England batsman mistimed a couple in the air to him, trying to hit him out the ground. It's always a opportunity of a wicket if the batsman's trying to hit you out the ground. But Loma's still there on strike.
That's got to be close.
It's got to be close. Got to be close. Oh, the umpire's hands stay in his pocket.
His left arm around the wicket. He's obviously got to try and straighten it. Now, it looked relatively straight to me, that. We're going to have to watch that one back in a second.
All depends where it was pitching.
And he's had one attempt at that shot, and straight away he's worked that way into our production room there.
So Lomas going at just over run a ball.
I'm hoping this is going to be the LBW shout here. Wide of the wicket. Let's just check here. Pitches in line, hits in line, and that looks it. Oh wow! And
Shuvo, can you change your decision, please?
Oh dear, you have got to feel for the Australians there. That was absolutely stone dead, but it wasn't given. So we carry on.
Shot Lomas.
In and out here to Marty Henderson. Great pick up, chance of a run out. Oh, direct hit at the other end as well.
It's good running that.
It's just not going the way at all here, Australia. I genuinely believed at halfway that they may have had enough, but England look extremely dominant. Look like a very strong unit on the back pitch. Required run rate is up at 14 and over. They need 58 off 20 balls.
The Australian viewers unhappy with that LBW decision. Lots of chat coming in.
Damon Quick saying Plumbers, got to agree with you, pal.
So Nelson strikes 1-1-1 after 14 overs. Could this be what Australia need to get them back into this game?
Must say that the umpires this week have been absolutely superb. very few contentious decisions. They're also here in last man standing cricket. They're also scoring at the same time, so they're doing a great job. They haven't got the benefit of this high-tech replay system that we've got here.
It's interesting fielding that on the boundary there. I think Brady Dwyer mistimed his dive slightly or got stuck in the turf.
I must admit, I did enjoy David Nielsen's Scott attempt at sliding before. You'd think he'd never been to England before in his life as he just slid past.
He was struggling to get the timing right of his dives.
Hope all the lads on Port Sunlight who were trolling me for saying his name wrong watch that back as well. Get that on the WhatsApp group. And there's another wicket on the back pitch. And it's looking like Singapore's fairy tale is about to come to an end as the might of Sri Lanka look like they're closing in on a final spot. Jamie Carter ready to come in there. Batted very well in the last game. Back for length. Lomas tries to work that into the leg side, comes off the pad, work towards point, they get a signal. This is I wouldn't say it's an identical situation they were into before with the India game, but it isn't far off here. This is exactly what, this is where they turn the screw on Akshit Gulati and Verhab, and the touch just mounted and mounted, so it's got to be now. Page comes in, back of a length, hit well into that vacant cover area there. Got to look for a third run here, but Simon Dunning just
there we go.
The big ones in, buzzers! As the ball goes through, and Australia give away 3 runs. They could do without that. That's sloppy fielding.
Not great, not a great throw that. No one backing up too, so the captain's not going to be happy. Still a lot of chats in the field from the Australians. Got to keep going till the end, as Australians always do in any form of sport.
Catch!
Ooh, well bowled.
Ooh,
Hayden Page.
A little tickle on that.
Just rushed him for pace there a bit.
Captain Lang there is stood extremely close. He's making sure it's going to carry. Really good hands there. Just looking back at some of the bowling performances in this game for Australia, I'm just trying to think where they're going to go next, Ross.
Looks like going back to the Nathan Tyrrell left arm spinner. Finish his spell.
No Zia Bass so far.
Yes, I don't know quite what the thinking is for that, but possibly get him into the attack after this over.
My big thing about Zia Bass is whenever he's in the game, something's happening.
Exactly that.
And sometimes you've got to just go with,
Well ball, that's just a big
and there he is,
heave.
Tyrrell's got him. He's run one through him down the slope here.
Simon Dunning trying to heave it over the mid-wicket boundary. His bread and butter shot, but just missed it. Clean bowled. Well bowled, Nathan Tyrrell. This might give the Australians the...
So England have sent out the informed Jamie Carter, scoring runs against Pakistan on Friday.
Let's have a look at this. He's had a big swing. Oh, well bowled.
Yeah, he's just gone on with the arm, hasn't it? He's just come up a little bit in the shot there, Dunning. You can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to kill this game now. Doesn't want to leave it to the final overs. But that's crashed into middle stump, and that's the end of him. So you can see Blake van der Linde there. You can see Adil Hussain, all of them itching.
So the rate is 34 from 24 balls.
So
Run chasers can always get tricky. Couple
yeah,
of dots, couple of wickets, build a bit of pressure.
Would you not like to see someone in saving one here? Put a bit of pressure on the new batter.
Oh. Jamie Carter.
Fortune favours the brave, Ross.
Exactly that.
Always seen the Aussies as being a very attacking force here. I'm sure I'm going to get some stick again on Facebook Live for being English, but Would have been nice to see a few slips in there, or even a catcher, or just a fielder in, just put a bit of pressure on the new batter.
Oh, it's
another wicket!
Australia back in the game now.
It's a game-changing spell from Tyrrell here.
Let's hope the English dressing room just has a regroup, realises they're ahead of the game.
Love Marty Henderson here. Let's go now, boys. It's now. He wants it now.
Great bit of keeping from the captain, Sam Lang.
Well, Brody Dwyer just touched on it, didn't he? That he didn't come with a specialist keeper, but Sam Lang's done a really good job since he's took over the gloves.
So we should see a change of attitude now from all our Australian viewers. A bit more positive, backing their team.
Let's see some of those blue thumbs up if you think Australia can still turn this round here.
Blake van der Linde, a wealth of experience in this format of cricket. We'll need a calm head.
So this is Blake van der Linde. He's had a really good week here so far. Man of the match in the Pakistan game with 32 and 2 for 29. Plenty of people watching online for him as well. And here we go. There's all the big ticks coming in.
Brilliant.
All the Aussie boys still think it's on. Van der Linde to his work straight away. They're going to look for two here. Straight away, going to look for two. Carter's coming back.
Oh, that's good running. Great running that. Captain Lang not happy with his fielder long on.
Just looking around for other bowlers here. Still, still not seeing a bass. Jake O'Connell can barely move down here at short third man. He's worked so hard all week, but he looks really sore with a lower back strain there. Switch hit into the leg side.
Oh, it's a great shot. Reverse hit.
Fortune favours the brave, doesn't it? But this isn't over till the fat lady sings, Ross.
That's one of my cliches.
I'm trying to get them in before you're here.
It's a great shot there, van der Linde. Good improvisation. Telegraphed it a bit to the bowler, but there's
the captain.
Seems to be a bit of chat from the Aussies.
Looks like that game's just coming towards an end on the back pitch there. They require 41 off 6 balls now. Summit Seth is the last man in. That good, he's been named twice, but has he got a chance of knocking this off? So to Jamie Carter here. Got to look for two again. Got to look for two again.
Good running by the English batsman.
That's the one thing Jamie Carter does bring to this England side, is intensity between the wickets, and straight away they've turned a 1 into a 2. Australia need another one of those overs that we've just had from Tyrrell. Another 2 wickets in the over. They need a squeeze on. Oh, dot ball.
Well bowled, Srinivasan. Comes back with a dot ball. Jamie Carter just doing some gardening down the wicket. Oh, big.
He's got to look for 2 here, got to look for a second run here. Oh, Jamie Carter really had to put the afterburners on there. He thought he was going to go to his end. And my man Ziad Abbas is warming up down there. So I think he'll have the last 2 overs. Well, 2 of the last 3 overs anyway.
So well, that's two. He said two from as soon as he hit it. Blake van der Linde.
And that's a 6 by Summit Seth on the back pitch. It's maybe not over just yet. Just 35 needed off 2 balls.
Oh.
Someone needs to get to the stumps here. Sam Lang's chasing. Jake O'Connell comes round. And it's all over. LMS Singapore, the surprise package of this tournament. They've...
Crash out.
Yeah, cheers, mate. I was going for something big there, and you've helped me massively because I've gone. Got a bit tongue-tied there. The emotion of my team crashing out there, Ross. I know that happens to you regularly with 4 teams, so I really do appreciate that. Here in his England fleece. The New Zealand shirt washed and pressed. That was long gone.
So Big Zia Bass into the attack.
So the Sri Lankans will be on pitch 1 this afternoon. Probably just under an hour's time. As Zia Bass comes in, straight away goes to his change-up delivery there. Carter happy with 1. Blake van der Linde wanted 2. So the run rate's just under 7 here. So I'm pretty sure that Blake van der Linde is going to be looking to get a couple of boundaries here and kill this match. He's 10 off 4. Oh, that had a chop on written all over it there. Ross, I keep saying it straight away. Abbas has come on and something's happening. So why has he not been bowling earlier?
I'd have to agree with that, Lee.
Drives me mad. Drives me mad. There's bowlers that things just happen. Golden arms. People who just get the ball and something changes in the game. But he's been held back. Crazy.
Oh.
He's gone for 3 runs off 3 balls here.
So it's going to be a tight finish here in my book.
So realistically, they're going to, if O'Connell's injured here, they may have to go to... Yeah, they may have to go to Page.
Ball.
And a dot ball again from Abbas.
Blake van der Linde just trying to hit it down the ground for 2. Trying to get it straight.
Bring him on at both ends, I say. Bring him on at both ends.
Lots of chats in the outfield by the Australians. Trying to get in the English heads. Oh, top edge for 4.
And it's gone for 4. That could have gone absolutely anywhere there. He done him, but he got enough bat on it and it flew down to fine leg in front of us in the commentary position. And that could be a real dagger blow to this Australian outfit.
Wasn't quite where van der Linde was trying to hit it, but I'm sure he'll take it. So the equation is 13 from the last 2 overs, which is 10 balls. It was LMS cricket, and over is 5 balls.
Surely they've got to bring someone in on the single, Ross. They've got a man who's barely saving 2 out there. They've got 13 off 10.
Well bowled.
And that's a wide ball.
Umpire's called a wide.
In LMS cricket, though, for me, why not? Is a wide a good ball at this stage? It's only 1 run.
It's only 1 run, yes, but he's got to re-bowl it. The first one you re-bowl.
Well, he doesn't have to re-bowl it, does he? Because it's the second to last over.
No, in any over, you bowl a wide, you need to re-bowl that ball, and then if the next wide that you bowl, you don't re-bowl, and it's 3 runs.
Do you know what? I'm so glad you're here, Ross. I've been here a week and no one's told me that. So thanks to all the LMS staff, especially co-founder Wayne Grieve. Sat next to him for probably 20 hours this week, and he's not explained that to me once.
You're welcome, Lee.
So I'm glad you're here, Ross.
It's always a privilege to sit in the commentary box with you.
Well, you never know, next time when you come to Chester in maybe 10 years on the cycle,
yeah,
we may have a box and not this high-cost tent that they've put us in for the week. But this has been a good over actually so far. No boundaries. And who knows if they can just get a wicket here, bring a new batter in, put the squeeze on. He's gone down. What a great piece of wicket
keeping. Well done, Sam Lang.
Like Mark Schwarzer in the football. Another great Aussie. Down to his right. A brilliant one-handed stop. That's what captains do. A leader of men there, Lang. 10 off 7. High in the air.
That could be out. No, not enough. Not enough, but they're going for 2.
A chance of a run out.
Hey, Marty Henderson! Take a bow, sir. Your country salutes you.
The goat gets him. Who says goats aren't dangerous? There was no chance to there. Direct hit, and Blake van der Linde goes.
Good bowling, good batting, good fielding.
Cricket's the winner, Ross.
You took it out of my mouth.
Now, here we go then. David Nielsen Scott comes to the wicket.
The intent was right. Van der Linde had to try and get back for 2, but unfortunately that's his innings come to an end. Well batted. So now Jamie Carter on strike.
Generous ripple from the crowd there. 15 off 8. Great run out from Henderson. So it's 9 off 6 here. Dot ball makes a big difference. And there it is.
Well bowled.
9 off 5.
Could there be a twist in the tail here?
Of course there could be. Of course there could be. And they're going to go to my man, Ziad Abbas.
Every youngster's dream to be representing his country.
Here at Chester.
Exactly that.
A lot of chat out there from the Aussies now. They've come alive. Where's he going to go first ball here, Ross? Does he just nudge it and go for the runs, or is he going for a big hit?
Block hole.
Oh, that's got a chance of a 4 there. Out to Henderson. Coming back for 2. There we go. 7 off 4.
A lot of pressure on the youngster. Late team selection to the England setup.
He's going to go slow ball here, I reckon. He has dragged down out to O'Connell. That's a great piece of fielding actually in the deep. He's done well to stop it. Chance of a run out.
Ah! Review. This is the review.
He's gone to the review. He's gone to the review here.
Okay, Miles. Yep.
So
he's going to see it.
We have to move out the way here. So the third umpire can see the screen. I will not be giving my opinion at any point until the decision's made. We're waiting on the review here as Australia come in. They're all looking across. I think this could be quite a big moment in the game here. There's more people in the box. We need the review. There's been a soft signal given to us. This is not the ideal angle here. This is the angle. This is the angle. Good collection by Lang here. Not in the picture, Nielsen. Not in the picture. Big dive from Nielsen. We're waiting for the umpire to go across to the position here. This could change the match. Here it goes. He's gone! Great bit of field from O'Connell. And that's going to change this match. David Nielsen Scott goes run out.
Got the big dive, but that just wasn't enough.
What drama here at Filkins Lane, Chester. The #1 place to be for last man stands cricket here today.
Fantastic spectacle we have going on here.
And cometh the hour, cometh the man. It's the captain, Nick Dolby Walsh, comes out to the crease.
big game temperament he has. He'd be loving this.
This is unreal. England have left themselves a little bit to do here. 6 off 4. Jamie Carter is a non-striking batsman. 6 off 3. Sorry, apologies. Nothing wrong with the app there. That was just me. 6 off 3.
As you said, all the action when Abbas's Ziad is in the equation. Nick Dalby-Welsh.
Big ball this.
Oh.
Goal up for 2 here.
No.
Oh, wow. Right. Okay, so just to fill you in, 5 to go. 5 off 2 balls needed here. But the beauty is that obviously we've got the home run ball. 6 will be enough anyway. But they're still in the game. So they've got 2 balls either to find a 6 or pull together 5 runs in the 2 balls here. What will Jamie Carter do? Will he get Nick on strike or will he try and strike himself?
I think he's going to try to strike himself. He's going to back himself.
Okay, so it's Carter waiting.
2 balls.
Abbas comes in from the Ronfleet end. Back on length, it's a dot! He's going to run anyway!
Oh.
This is absolutely unbelievable.
We always said this was going to be a tight finish. Certainly he's done that.
I'm going to be turning around to a few of the people who run the app for LMS. If Abbas doesn't get man of the match and they win the match, it needs changing. The algorithm is wrong. The human feel of a match winner. And he is changing this match.
If W. Welsh hits the boundary, hits 4, would be a tie, which means we'd have the eliminator over. We haven't had one of those this week.
Don't know if I can cope with that. I don't think he's looking at 4 here. I don't think he's looking at a 4. I think he's going the whole way here.
He has got a reputation for being a home run hitter, as he did against New Zealand.
Abbas at the top of his mark here.
Nicholas W. Welsh.
The great old rivalry, England and Australia. The last man stands, semi-finals, going to go to the final ball here. And it's Abbas going to come in to the captain, Nick Dalby-Welsh.
Carrying the weights of a nation. Sets himself
What's
up.
he going to bowl here? High in the air! It's all over here! I thought he'd gone straight for the catch. I think it's going to be enough though. They're going to run anyway. It's Australia win!
Oh my word!
That is quite unbelievable. England have completely capitulated at the end here.
As your man Ziad Abbas bowled a fantastic last over.
I really don't know what to say. It's quite an emotional moment. I've been pushing this guy all week, and he's come good. And Sammy Lang getting a lot of hugs and kisses off his Aussie teammates there.
Would you would that be considered a choke in your book?
Yeah.
Lots of South Africans in the English team.
Look, at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, wherever they're born, they're still wearing the same shirt. They've been over here a long time, and I'm sure that won't come into it. Nick Compton, gracious in defeat there. He's come out shaking hands with the Aussie boys. But what a fantastic win for Australia. I've got a feel for the England lads. I think they played some amazing cricket this week.
Yeah.
Some of the hitting from Simon Dunning.
Thanks, Lee. We'll see you later.
Thoroughly enjoyed that. So England have probably had some people who've really lit up this tournament. Simon Dunning's 54 off 13 earlier in the week. Some great performances from Nick Compton, Blake van der Linde, and obviously the bowling of Adil Hussain. But ultimately, Australia have done it.
Just what mental strength there from the Aussies. Ziad Abbas, just as you say, such a big moment player just coming up. There's only one man you could throw the ball to there in that final over. Brilliant stuff. Just panic in the English ranks in that middle to lower order. One stage there, 12, 13 overs in, England had the game done and dusted, it looked like. So just the mental strength of these Aussies, just twice in a row today, when they look down and out, just to come back and snatch that win. Incredible stuff.
Just on the chase, the last 2 games, both teams should have won these games. So there needs to be a little bit of thought going into that final. Who's ever's on the chase, those middle overs just seem to be churned up, and then leaving massive pressure at the end. So we're getting teams off to a good start, and then the middle overs are just going at 6s and 7s, and then we're being left with 10, 11, 12 and over at the end. So
absolutely. I mean, if you look at that scorecard, a fantastic start from Nick Compton, 50 off 27 balls. You just see the replay of the final run out there. Could have had the eliminator over there if that was a tie. Nick Compton, 50 off 27, gave England exactly the launch pad they needed, but then, well, 35 off 34 from Aaron Lomas. I mean, that's a disappointing innings there, you know, put the pressure on them. Simon Dunning, 32 off 18, he was looking good. That was a big wicket from Nathan Tyrrell. Huge wicket there to turn the tide, and the pressure just built and built from there.
Well, look at this here. Run-outs, England, 4 run-outs. So that's ultimately cost them in the end. But it's the bowling of Abbas and the captaincy of Lang as well. I thought he was fantastic. A brilliant spell from Tyrrell. 2 for 28, got wickets at key times. But, you know, ultimately they've ended up with the marquee player not out, still able to come back in.
That's it, they haven't used him. 2 big moments in the innings there for me were Simon Dunning getting bowled by Nathan Tyrrell when he was going well. And then that direct hit run out. Blake van der Linde came in, played some cracking shots, a reverse sweep. Well, it wasn't a reverse sweep, switch hit.
Switch hit, wasn't it? Yeah.
And then just the direct hit from Henderson to take him out. Brilliant moment in the game for the Australians. Adil Hussain run out at the end, none off none. He had an exceptional bowling spell again, one of the bowlers of the tournament. And now we'll be switching over to the interviews.
And it looks like Nick Compton has got Simon Dunning and Ziyad Abbas.
Well, every game's got closer and closer at this last man stands competition. This is finals day, semi-final between England and Australia. Just suffered a really tough loss, having played well in the competition. Where did it go wrong for us, Simon?
I think we fielded really well. I think we managed to keep them down to a good total. I think just in the batting, I think we probably left a few 2s out there on the field. You know, coming back into the wind was when we should have really taken advantage of that and started pushing really hard. I think that's probably, you know, credit to them. They bowled well and they fielded well, pulled their men and kept those runs down. So
you've had a good competition, mate. Have you enjoyed it?
It's been awesome. Getting old, so feeling it. But it's been great. You know, you come and do this with your friends. You get to play with the likes of yourself. You know, that's experience that we get to tell our kids and stuff about. So, and it's been a great week. So thanks to the organisers.
I've certainly had a great time, and geez, mate, you guys must be pumped. I mean, going into a final, you've got stronger and stronger as the competition's going on. I thought you bowled brilliantly there. You're very smart, and you must be delighted.
Yeah, definitely delighted. The boys have been exhausted. Played a quarter final back to back with this one, which I think is why we started a bit slower. Although when we got the runs on the board, we thought we had enough due to what we scored in the quarter final, enough to defend. But as the game got on, the boys got up and we did what we needed to do.
Yeah, I thought you stuck in there really, really well. So what's the plan for the final now? A bit of rest, but looks like you're going to play Sri Lanka in the final.
Yeah, that's we lost to Sri Lanka in the first game. I think nerves got a hold of us then. Hopefully we do have a bit of rest because we have not stopped since we got here at 8 a.m. And I'm sure the boys will be up for it. Just want to thank all the Aussies out there for the support that we've been getting across this week. So it's been awesome.
Not too much rest, mate. The clouds are coming in. There's a rain forecast later, so you're going to have to get straight back out there. But you're in good form. Should be a cracking final, so stay tuned.
shoot with that contraption. You shoot with that contraption.
Yeah.